The AEW Dynamite after Double or Nothing 2024 took place last night and a fair bit happened on the show, but AEW has also been met with some bad news recently and some drama has taken place recently too within the company, all of which we're going to discuss in this week's Dynamite review. So like the video and let's talk about it. Let's talk about the May 29th AEW Dynamite episode. Dynamite kicks off with the CEO and new TBS champion Mercedes Moné as it's her title win celebration. She gets on the mic, she says she's the greatest of all time and talks about the match with Willow, says Willow is great but she's too nice and anyone could have seen Statlander turning on her. Kinda true. Then Sky Blue appears on screen and she shows the footage of Mercedes being attacked during her interview from a few weeks ago, and it's revealed that Sky Blue was that mystery attacker all along, and Sky Blue then appears in the ring attacking Mercedes and posing with the belt before leaving, and it's announced later on in the show that we'll be seeing these two face off for the title tonight, which in turn got the Mariah May vs Saraya match, which was originally scheduled for tonight, postponed to next week, which Saraya didn't seem to be very happy about. She deleted a tweet saying that she's going to really start speaking her mind, which could easily be a storyline thing because she's been posting cryptic stuff after, or it's also possible that Bryan Danielson has been on her case and given her a fine. But regardless, Mariah May and Saraya is happening next week now, and it was announced during the broadcast of this show, so I guess any issue, if there was one, is resolved, or else Saraya is just playing into kayfabe doing this. Before our first match of the night, we have Swerve Strickland versus Killswitch, and this match is a Game of Thrones cross-promotional match thingy, and it was a nice way to open the show, and Swerve of course predictably gets the win. And don't get me wrong, like I said, it was a nice match, but can we start getting Swerve in the main event segments now? I have no issue with him wrestling as much as he does, but he's the world champion, he should be in the main event. And also, Killswitch shouldn't be kicking out of the world champion's finisher on a random Dynamite. Get out of here with that, with him kicking out the Swerve Stomp the way he did. Next up though, we have the first ever edition of TV time with the Learning Tree, and now, I'm not exaggerating, but I think this may have been one of the worst segments in AEW history. Just a truly WWE 2019, start of 2020, Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin, dog food era kind of segment. The kind of segment AEW just doesn't need on its programming, and Jericho, sure, he's being an annoying heel, but these promos, which are starting to sound the exact same every week, just aren't it. They bring out Brian Keith, who now appears to be in the Learning Tree, but I don't really know, and Hook then comes out and it looks like he's going to start beating them up, but he is stopped by Samoa Joe, who whispers something in his ear and walks him backstage. It looks like the Hook Jericho storyline still going on, and maybe Samoa Joe has been dragged into it now, which we definitely didn't need to happen, and Joe doesn't need to happen. For our next match of the night, it's Jon Moxley versus Rocky Romero in a title eliminator match for the IWGP Heavyweight title. And listen, I like both of these guys, and this match was fine, but I don't really get how Rocky Romero has earned a title eliminator match. He loses every match he's in, he's pretty much a jobber on AEW TV, and also this match didn't need to go as long as it did. I'm a firm believer that not every TV match needs to be 10 minutes plus. You can have some matches on there that are just a 5 to 8 minute banger, and this match could have easily been that, and maybe should have been that. Regardless, this match was fine, Moxie got the win, it's nothing to write home about, it happened. Don Callis is out next though, and he is out to recruit Orange Cassidy to the family, and Orange Cassidy comes out, but he declines the offer to join Don Callis' family and rips up the contract instead, which was a surprise as this has been teased for so long. But Stokely and Chris Statlander then come out, and Chris Statlander says that her best friend does accept the offer, and that leads Trent to come in and attack Orange from behind, and he signs to join the Don Callis family. An interesting development, but I have to say, I really don't know what Don Callis managing Trent really does for anyone. But we're here now, I guess. We're here now with it, and looks like we're rolling with it. The Don Callis family is now made up of Kyle Fletcher, Powerhouse Hobbs, Konosuke Takeshita, Trent Beretta, and is Will Ospreay even still like technically part of it? I don't even know. And Sammy Guevara was in there for like a month too. Just a weird group. Sky Blue versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS title is up next, and these two had a really good match here. One of the best matches of the night, probably the second best match of the night behind the main event, which we'll get to. But I think this was a good first defense and also a really good way to introduce Mercedes Moné to the core AEW women's division. Sky Blue is a big part of the AEW women's division. She's a core member of the AEW women's division, someone who's not ex-WWE. She's AEW through and through. So it's good to see Mercedes mixing it up with people she's never wrestled before, and I think these two had chemistry. While it wasn't as good as the match against Willow on pay-per-view, obviously, it was less botchy and probably one of, if not Sky's best matches ever, as she puts up a good fight, but Mercedes gets the win with the Moné Maker, which looks a lot better here than it did at Double or Nothing. Post-match though, CMLL star and New Japan Strong Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer comes out and stares down Mercedes Moné. There was a video package hyping up Stephanie Vaquer earlier in the show, and now it looks like we might be getting these two against each other at Forbidden Door. These two of course have faced before, if you didn't know, on New Japan Strong, and maybe this could be for both belts, but time will tell. But I think we can presume that this match is at least happening. The Elite are out next, and immediately off the gate there's CM Punk chants, which Okada shuts down by saying "shut up bitches," and they announce that Adam Copeland has been stripped of the TNT title and the TNT title is now vacant, which of course is happening because Copeland recently announced that he was injured off of that steel cage dive that he did at Double or Nothing, which no shit did that injure him. The guy landed feet first from like a 20-foot drop, and it's really unfortunate news because Copeland has been having a great run in AEW and a great TNT title run, and now it looks as though he's going to have to miss out on Wembley, which is just such a shame. The Elite then start to announce what they're going to do with the championship, and they announce that they're going to be rewarding the title to Jack Perry, and just as they're about to announce him as an new, Christopher Daniels comes out and he announces that he is the newly elected interim EVP and that Jack Perry isn't getting the title just like that, and there will be qualifier matches to determine the next TNT champion. The Elite look as though they're going to attack Christopher Daniels, but the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass come out to even the odds, and the 8 men stare each other down. It looks as though we've got a nice TV program for these guys to sink their teeth into against some AEW originals. It makes sense, as long as this isn't a pay-per-view program, which I doubt it is. I think it's just made for TV, which it suits. I think we're all good here. Anyway, main event time, as it's the Casino Gauntlet match, and this was just as good as the first Casino Gauntlet match. I think AEW have found a good, original stipulation match here. This match featured AEW, New Japan, and CMLL guys as Pac and Jay White started off, and as the match went on, we'd see Mystico, Will Ospreay, Shota Umino, Claudio Castagnoli, Lio Rush, which was a genuine pretty big surprise given how him and AEW fell out before, Orange Cassidy, and Heshi Chero. A great lineup, and we get the high spots, the multi-man spots, and some great sequences. I especially loved Claudio and Lio Rush when they were going at it. I thought they had a really cool sequence. And also the ending sequence with Ospreay and Cassidy, where Ospreay gets the win, was also great. And yeah, like I just said there, Ospreay gets the win here, and as a result, he's going to be facing Swerve Strickland at Forbidden Door for the world title. I'm very surprised they're doing this. I'm not against it at all, I'm just very surprised. AEW usually like to hold off on doing big matches like these immediately, and they wait a bit, and a lot of the time because of that, they miss out on the opportunity to do these matches when they're at their most hot. So I am completely fine with them just doing this match, and to be honest, I don't think this is going to be the only match. I reckon this could easily be a best of 3, especially as Ospreay is the international champion and this match is only for the world championship. Maybe we could see a best of 3 that ends in a unification match, which was actually an idea I had a few weeks ago to unify these belts, which they might actually be doing now, which really surprises me. But yeah, regardless, I'm very surprised they didn't wait to Wembley to do this. But I have a feeling we still see this at Wembley. I'm very much looking forward to this match between these two men at Forbidden Door. Overall though, Dynamite was pretty average. I'd give it a 6 to maybe a 6.5 out of 10. The first hour wasn't great. The Learning Tree stuff wasn't very good. It had the Mox versus Romero match, which wasn't really anything special, as well as Swerve versus Killswitch, which was okay, but didn't really need to be happening. Whereas the second hour for me was very, very solid. The Elite segment was good, Mercedes and Sky absolutely killed it, and the Casino Gauntlet was a really great main event once again. The second hour very much carrying this show this time round, and it's just an above average show this week, nothing to write home about. Let me know what you thought of this show down in the comments below, leave a like on this video as well, and subscribe to be the first to see all my wrestling content that I am constantly putting out. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.